Have you ever been in a season where nothing seems to move forward? Hi, I'm Deasia, and welcome to today's devotional podcast. Like many of you, I've experienced waiting seasons, times when you pray, work hard, and yet feel so stuck. But here's what I've learned: God's timing is never random, and His plans are always purposeful. Today, we'll reflect on Job's story, explore God's perfect timing, and find encouragement through songs like Big by Pastor Mike, Walking by Mary Mary, and Jehovah Jireh by Jacqueline Carr. Let's dive into a story that reminds us what it means to trust God in every season. Job's story is a profound example of faith in the midst of overwhelming trials. In Job chapter 1 verses 1 describes him as a blameless and upright, yet his life has been turned upside down in an instant. He lost his family, his wealth, and even his health. It was a season that could have easily broken anyone. But even in his despair, Job proclaimed in Job chapter 42 verses 1 through 6, "I know you can do all things. No plan of yours can be stopped." His unwavering trial reminds us that faith isn't about avoiding hardship. It's about finding strength in God through it. It makes me think of Walking by Mary Mary, a song that encourages us to keep moving forward, even when the road ahead is so unclear. Similarly, Big by Pastor Mike reminds us to trust God is at work behind the scenes preparing us for something greater. So, how can we begin to see God's purpose in the midst of our waiting? Let's take a closer look at the bigger picture. Waiting can feel like starting a puzzle with missing pieces, but God sees the full picture. In Isaiah chapter 55 verses 8 through 9 reminds us, "For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, declare the Lord." This verse reassures us that God's plans are far beyond what we can understand. In Jehovah Jireh, it reminds us He provides exactly what we need in His perfect timing. And Big encourages us to trust even when life feels overwhelming. God is crafting something beautiful. This brings me to a time in my life when I had to trust God's timing in a waiting season. A few months ago, I found myself in a season of uncertainty. I was applying for jobs, going through interview after interview, but nothing seems to work out. And on top of that, people around me were leaving left and right, which made me feel like everything was falling apart and unraveling. In that season, I leaned into my faith. I found a church home and sought guidance from my pastor. Those moments of prayer and worship gave me the strength to persevere. Eventually, the right opportunity came, and I realized God had been preparing me all along. In James chapter 1 verses 3, it says, "The testing of your faith produces perseverance." What felt like a delay was actually God preparing for something greater. Now let's take a moment to reflect and pray together. Lord, thank you for being with us every season. Help us trust your timing and give us strength to persevere. Remind us that your plans are always good. Amen. If this message encouraged you, share it with someone who might need it. Listen to Big, Walking, or Jehovah Jireh this week, and let those songs remind you of God's faithfulness. Until next time, stay anchored in your faith, and may you find peace in His presence.